with, and this is for grouping. Okay, these are for grouping, and this is one field name. And what is a field name here? Name. And what is a field name here? Age. So you can say this field names can be called as a parameter names. Yes, this field names can be called as what here? Parameter names. And name should contain only alphabets, and age should contain only what here? Digits. Now this is begin with, and this is what here? End with, right? So this is what we have seen in the last class. Okay. So I think you understood the difference between the path, and what is that? RE path. Okay. So then next, now today, I'll try to introduce one more thing, because so without this, you cannot create a user interface. So without this, you cannot create an user interface. And what I'm introducing today is, okay, so today I'm introducing one more thing which is called as what here? Template. Yes. So what I'm introducing today is what here? Templates. So the responsibility of the view is, I said, whenever you are talking about web development of Django, so in Django, you develop a web application by using one design pattern called what? MVT. So within that, M stands for model, V stands for view, and T stands for what here? Template. Okay, template. T stands for what here? Template. Okay. So template. So what is template is, and what is the use of template? So what is template and why we have to use the templates here? Okay. So I said no already. So controlling of web application is done by which one? View. So yeah, this is a view. What is the responsibility of view? Generally, what is the responsibility of view? Request. Okay, you are sending what here? Request. You are sending a request. Request is nothing but what here? Input. Right? You are sending the request or what? Input to what here? View. And view generate what here? View will take the request and process it. Okay, it will take the request and process it and generate what here? Response. So view will take the request and process it and generate the response. Okay, this is response, or this is what here? Output. But whenever you are talking about web, okay, the responsibility of view is taking the input. So input is nothing but what here? A request. And after taking the input, it will process the input and generate what here? Output. And always the output is generated in the form of what here? HTML. So presentation always done using what? HTML. So where you are writing HTML code within the view. Previously we write HTML code within the view. We write the code inside what? View. Correct or not? So it means we try to include HTML code within the view. We try to include HTML code within the view, right? But now we are separating HTML code from the view. So where you are writing the HTML code in another program. And what is that another program is? Template. So what is that another one here? Template. So what is the responsibility of view? What is the responsibility of view? Receiving the input and processing it. Okay, receiving the input and processing it and generating output using what? Template. It is generating output using what here? Template. So output is generated. See, it is including template for generating which one? Output. So what is the template here? It is nothing but it is which file it is? HTML file. What is template is here? HTML file. So previously, now when you write a view, how you written a view? So view, you are writing a view like this. Okay, this is my view. Okay, assume that there is a view called what here? View one. So it is taking the request. This view is taking the request. Okay. And here you write the statements. Some statements you are writing it. Okay. Now I want view should generate some output. I want view should generate some output. So how view is generating the output? You are trying to create one string. Okay. You are trying to create one string. And inside this string, you are including which code? HTML code. Means you are including HTML code within the you are including HTML code within what? View. You are including HTML code within the view. Okay. So here you are writing some H2 and you are trying to generate some output. Okay. By writing which code here? HTML code. But this is there as a part of, okay, this is there as a part of which one? View. Now, what you are doing, you are separating this HTML code from, you are separating this HTML code from view. Because HTML code you should not write inside which program? Python program. Will you write HTML code inside the Python program or in HTML file? HTML file. But here you are writing the HTML code where? Inside the which program? Python program. Yes or no? So you don't write HTML code within the Python program. The Python program will include which code? HTML code. But where you are writing an HTML code, you are writing an HTML code in a separate file. This HTML code you are not writing here. This HTML code you are not writing here, right? So this HTML code means presentation logic you are separating. This presentation logic you are separating from which logic? Business logic or request logic, and you are including in another file. And what is that another file here is template. What is that another file here? Template. So what is a template? A template is a text file. Okay, what is a template? A template is which file? A text file. So because HTML file is which file? Text file. What is a template? Is a text file. Template is a text file. Okay. So why template is for generating which one? Output. Template is nothing but it is which file? Template is nothing but which file it is? HTML file. And always you are using an HTML for always you are using HTML for developing which one? UI. UI is nothing but what here? User interface. So input is given by using HTML. Output is generated by using HTML. So template is used for what? Presentation. What you are presenting here? Data. What you are presenting here? Data. And template is not a static. HTML is what? HTML is what here? Static. But template is not a static. Template is what here? Dynamic. So template is an HTML file which contain which code? HTML code, JavaScript code, CSS, and it is also having one special language. What is that special language? DJANGO template language. It is having one special language. And what is the name of that language? DTL. So DTL, DJANGO template language. So this is used for generating which output? Dynamic output. It is used for generating which output? Dynamic output. So this you are separating. This code you are separating from view. So that maintaining your code becomes what here? Easy. Suppose if you write HTML file, you can have a preview. Can you see the output or not? Yes. HTML file you can directly open in the browser and you can see how my view is, I mean, how my template is. Is it preview is available if you include inside a view? No, because it is which program? This is which program? Python program. So generally in Python program, you write a code to process the data. Okay, you write the code to process the data. Not only that, if you are combining, what you are combining here, you are combining how many logics in view? Two logics. One is request logic and one more is response logic. Then maintaining your code becomes what? Complex. Suppose whenever you want to do changes in HTML code, you have to do changes in what? View. But now, if you separate this HTML code, whenever you want to do changes in HTML code, you do changes in what? Template. So maintaining your code becomes what here? Easy. Understood? So what is the responsibility of you taking the input and including or generating output by including template? Generating output by including template. What you are writing in a template? HTML code. But you are not writing HTML code in what? View. You are writing HTML code in what? Template. So very easy. Understood? Right? So please just try to understand. Okay, why we are using a template? Template is for presentation. Okay, it is for giving input and generating what here? Output. So what is template? So DJANGO uses a design pattern called a design pattern called which one? MVT. Okay. So MVT stands for okay, model view template. Model view, yes man. Model view and template. MVT stands for model view template. It is an architectural design pattern. It is an architectural, okay, it is an architectural design pattern, okay, used by Django, okay, used by Django for developing what? Web application, for developing web application. It is an architectural design pattern used by Django for developing web application. So in MVT, okay, in MVT, so view, the responsibility of view is the response. Now, what is a view? Okay, view is nothing but, what is a view is nothing but a Python. View is nothing but what? Python program. It is a Python program, okay, or a function. View is nothing but a Python program or a function or what? Class, which receives input. Input is nothing but what here? Request from client, which receive the input from client. Okay, process it and generate, process it and generate what here? Output. By including, see, by including, what it is including? Template. By including what here? Template. How it is generating output? By including the template. Understood? So inside the view, you don't write which code? HTML code. Inside the view, you are not writing which code? HTML code. So template, okay, template is an HTML file. Template is an HTML file, or it is which file here? Text file. It can be HTML file or it is what? Text file. So template, okay, template is used, okay, by view for generating which one? Output. So template, you can say in web, in DJANGO web, okay, application, in DJANGO web application. So template is for generating what is that here? Dynamic So dynamic which one? Output. So template is an HTML file. Template is an HTML file which consists of which consists of which code? HTML code. It is having which code? CSS code. It is having which code? JavaScript code. And it is also having which one? DTL. So what is DTL stands for? DJANGO. DJANGO template. Template what here? Language. DJANGO template language. So what is template is? HTML file. Okay. So in web development, web development, in web development of Django, okay, web development of Django, view does not contains which code? HTML code. So this HTML code is separated from view and included inside what? Template. So what is the advantage? What is the advantage of templates? What is the advantage of templates? One is, okay, modularity. One is modularity. Modularity means separation. Separating which logic? Separating which logic? Input logic and output logic. Separating the business logic and yes, presentation logic. The same thing you can call it as separation or separating of business logic and which logic? Presentation logic. So in view, you are writing which logic? Business logic. In template, you are writing which logic? Presentation logic. In view, you are writing which logic? Business logic. In template, you are writing which logic? Presentation logic. So there is a clear separation of business logic and what? Presentation logic. So that is called as what here? Modularity. So next one is reusability is there. Okay, that is actually Django is developed based on one principle called which one? Dry. Dry principle. Dry is nothing but don't repeat yourself. Means once the template is developed, it can be used in one application or more than one application. See, once you create a template, you can use that template either in one application or more than one because project is a collection of what? Applications. Project is a collection of application. So once you create a template, that can be used either in one application or more than one application. So modularity, reusability, and that is what? Easy to what? Maintain. Easy to maintain. Okay, so the changes can be done in template without doing changes in what? View. So easy to maintain means, okay, so now business logic can be changed. Business logic can be changed without doing changes in what here? Presentation logic. Presentation logic. Presentation logic, or you can do changes in presentation logic without doing changes in what? Business logic. Or presentation logic can be changed. Presentation logic can be changed without doing changes in which logic? Business logic. So maintaining your code becomes what? Easy. Okay, so modularity, reusability, easy to maintain, and readability. Readability means easy to what here? Understand. easy to understand, easy to understand. So this is your HTML code and this is your Python code. So easy to understand. And third one is template. Template is, what is this here? Dynamic. Template is what here? Dynamic. Dynamic. It is HTML only, but it's a dynamic. Dynamic means static page and dynamic page. Static means for every user, it will display the same information. So the content of that page doesn't changes from one user to another. But when it comes to the dynamic, you insert. What do you insert here? Dynamic content. You insert the data and generate one page dynamically. So it allows to generate what here? Dynamic what here? Web page. Dynamic web page by including which one? Data. By including data or what is that? Information. By including data or what? Information. Okay, right? So this is advantages of what here? Templates. What is the advantage of templates? Modularity. So what is the modularity? Separation of business logic and what? Presentation logic. So where you are writing a business logic in Vue, where you are writing a presentation logic in HTML. Reusability means once you develop template that can be used in one application or more than one application. And next one is easy to maintain. Means there is a clear separation of presentation logic and what? Business logic. So the changes can be done in presentation logic without doing changes in what? Business logic. That means you can do the changes in Vue without doing changes in what? HTML. You can do changes in HTML. HTML means what here? Template. So you can do the changes in template without doing changes in what? Vue. And readability means easy to understand the code. And template is what here? Dynamic. It allows to generate. It allows generating dynamic web page by including data or by feeding the data. You feed the data and generate dynamic content. So for generating dynamic content, so Django uses one special language. And what is that language it uses? DTL. That is Django template language. Understood? Yes. Understood this? These are what is exactly the meaning of template. Understood what is template and what is the advantage of using templates. Yes, any doubts you have? You have any doubts? Clear? Okay, then what are the basic steps? So what are the basic steps for developing template? Okay, what are the basic steps for developing template? See here, previously if you see in your application, now this is what here? View. Okay, there is a view. Now you can see where is your HTML code in? See, where is the HTML code in view? This is a view, right? Inside the view, you are writing which code? HTML code. View is nothing but a function, right? In the function, you are writing HTML code. But generally, in web development, where you write HTML code in? You write HTML code in HTML file or not? Yes. You don't write HTML code here. You don't write HTML code here. You write HTML code in which file? HTML file. And what is that HTML file is? Template. Understood? So Vue uses what? Template. Vue uses template. But in Vue, you don't write HTML code. So because maintaining becomes what? Complex. Can I see the output of this only HTML code? No, I cannot see it. I need to deploy. I need to run the server. Then only I can see what output. And not only that, multiple people cannot work on the project. For example, one person develop views, one person develop what? Templates. But if it is only views are there, then only one person is able to develop it. Yes, because is writing the code, HTML code and Python code, everything is writing in what? View. But now multiple project. One person can develop template, one person can develop what? View. Correct or not? Okay. Yes. So how to develop? So how to develop this? Okay. So what are the basic steps for developing a templates? So templates can be written. Okay, templates can be written. So one is at project level. You can create a template at what here? Project level. You can create a template at which level? Application level. Okay, so you can create a template at which level? Project level. Or you can create a template at which level? Application level. So if you are creating at project level, that indicates that you can use these templates either in one application or more than one application. But if you are creating a templates at which level? Application level, that indicates that this templates belongs to only that application. But if you want, you can use in other applications. But whenever you are saying it is application level, that is belongs to only one application. Correct or not? So project level, you can create a template at project level. Yes. So templates can be developed, or you can write a templates at project level, or you can create a template at which level? Application level. Okay. So project level. So first one is what here? Project level. So if template created at project level, it can be used. It can be used in one or one or sorry one or more than one application. If template is created at project level, it can be used in one or more than one application. Means these are global. These are what? Global, right? Global to the project. One more is application level. One is what here? Application level. If template is created at application level, so it can be used. Actually, it can be used at which level? Application level. See, if you want, you can use this in more than one application. But when you say application level, that indicates that these are the templates belongs to only that application. But if you want, you can use application template, one application level template into what? Another application. No problem. But generally, it has been classified into two. One is project level, and one more is what? Application level. Right? So then, so what are the basic steps? What are the basic steps for developing? What are the basic steps for developing templates? What are the basic steps for developing templates? Okay. So for developing templates, first, so you are trying to put all this. You are trying to put all this into one folder. Okay. All HTML files you put in one folder. Okay. One folder. So what do you do is you create one template. Sorry, create a folder. Create folder. First step is what? Create folder. At which level? If it is at project level, you create a folder at which level? Project level. If it is application level, you create a folder at which level? Application level. Right? Application level means inside the application folder. Project level means inside which folder? Project container folder, root folder. Project container folder. That is nothing but which folder? Root folder. So create a folder with a name, templates. You have to give only templates or any name, any name. But templates is a folder that identify it as what it contain templates. So create a folder with the name what here? Templates. Okay. After creating a folder, what do you do inside the templates? Inside the templates, you add what? HTML file. So next is create. Now create which file here? HTML file. So this HTML file is called what? Template. Create HTML file, and this HTML file is template. Then after this, what is the next step is? What is the next step is? You need to tell your server, you need to tell the server where is your template is. You need to tell the server where is your template is. Means you have to define the template path. You have to define the template path. So configuration of configuration of what? Templates. What is the third step is? Configuration of templates. Configuration means you have to define where you configure generally in settings.py. So configuration is nothing but, see, whenever you are including a template, then your server search for that particular template in one location. So where is your templates? Where is your templates? You should configure the location, or you need to define the path. You have to define which path? Templates path. That is nothing but configuration of which one? Templates. Then once the template is configured, can you call the template directly from browser? Can you call the template directly from the browser? No, you cannot call the template from the browser, because template is a client side program or server side. Server side. It is not a client side. It is not a client side. It is which program? Server side program. Template is a server side program, and this program is executed by the, who execute this program? Server. This program is executed by whom? Server, and output is given to the client. So configuration of templates, and after that, so you have to remember this. So template is not, whenever you say HTML, right? You'll say HTML is what? Client side. HTML is what? Client side. But here template is an HTML file. Template is an HTML file, but it is used for generating which output? Dynamic output. Means who's including dynamic data by the server? I mean, there